All right, recorders in progress. Did you want, welcome back, y'all. What it do? Did you, Travis, did you still have more on the human aspects of doubt and fear, or did you want to shift to the inner child talk?
I think it's one more.
Yes, come on.
I think that's my baby dog. At the door's like, let me in. No, stop it. Shut the fuck up. I love you. Okay, listen. I think with that with fear, just a little side note, just telling everyone that there's nothing to fear. You're always just trust yourself, believe in yourself, know that everything is perfectly divinely placed. You're not misplaced. You don't have to overcompensate. You don't have to overthink. So allow yourself to be. Find experience what you're experiencing with grace, and joy, and gratitude. And just love yourself. Just love yourself. Be gentle.
I feel it.
Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug.
Message, speaking and giving yourself a hug. And you just spoke on a very good experience that I'm sure a lot of people, maybe not to that down to a T, but they have dealt with as well, involving parents. That's something we're all having to, unravel, like you said, layer and heal from. So that being said, what do you nurture your inner, or how do you nurture your inner child? I want you to share, and then I'm gonna share aspects too, because this is a good one.
I know. Do you know how I nurture it? I nurture it now by seeing everyone as a kid.
Yes.
Everyone as I see everyone as a kid. It is so much fun.
Go ahead.
It is so much fun. Do you know how so much fun? Like if I see, like, I imagine someone as a kid and see him as a kid, and I see a kid like smoking a cigarette. It's just the most hilarious. Like, oh, they're younger versions of themselves.
Like you're such a rebellious.
It's just so rebellious. And it's so funny because it makes us have more compassion and patience, and we see it because we realize that kids are complex and they're just in their understand. And you realize that it started that young.
Yes.
And everything else on top of it is just an illusion. And it started that young. And when you see them as a kid, and I see myself as a kid playing with other kids, talking to other kids, it just always makes me so much happier. It makes me know that we're just here playing. We're just here having fun. And we're just experiencing with each other forever. Yes. And it's not this serious life. It really isn't. And it just makes me just feel so good. Yes. Oh, so good. And I allow myself to be silly, to be free. And me being silly is just me. And it's like goofy and enjoyable and just to kind of it just to never feel like I'm too bright for the experience. Allow myself to be bright. Allow myself to be deep. Allow so all the other kids can dance and be with me. You know
Let's all dance together. That's what kids right now.
And it just like all wild. It just makes me feel so good, and that's how I nurture it. I nurture it with so much bliss because it just makes me smile. It makes me giggle. It makes me just shine.
It's tingle.
Shine. It's just a little tingle. It's like with kids with experience.
Yeah.
With experience.
Kids with experience. I love that.
And we're constantly learning. So it's like we're little like yogis who go out and they're our lives, this little minute to us. It's just like yogis. Very good, very cool. And at peace, and just enjoying what this life is about. And it makes me feel so good. I feel like that's how I nurture it. And nurture my inner child, as well as like what we talked about in previous weeks before, allowing myself to constantly, anytime I feel like I can't be myself, to always give myself allowance and appreciation and permission and joy to be myself. And that's how I just always constantly nurture myself. My inner child, my me, the kid that I always am, this little baby bell. Is just to
Speak
be
on
that
it, Travis.
always, be
Oh,
it always.
okay.
Give
Feel
it
free
to me.
to interject.
Give it to me.
I stand with that because let me give you an example. This lady who I work with, I'm currently working as a custodian to help clean the school for the summer.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
it is one of the most hardest thing ever, and I have mad respect for custodians now, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I
There's this
know.
woman who is okay, it went back. Okay. There's this woman who is 50 years old. And when you talked about seeing all people as children, and she does the most random shit that everybody, it's four of us. It's me, I won't say names, it's this 50-year-old woman and these two older people as well. And she comes in, you'll be like, good morning. She goes, Merry Christmas. Merry and a Happy New Year. And you watch how other people get irritated with her. Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, and happy Thanksgiving and happy Easter, whatever her quirkiness is. And it is the most
Yo,
random thing, but to me, it makes sense because I see 12-year-old. Like, I don't know which
oh,
stage she set in, but I see a 12-year-old child who has no fear in
mm,
expressing who she is. And she'll like do cheerleader moves and she'll just spin around. And I'm like, yep, let's dance on
oh,
Wednesday. Let's go,
oh,
let's go. And she's like, she's
oh,
always with me. And like everybody else is like, what in what, judgment. Because they don't
this,
understand, they don't see it. And I'm like, y'all need to get on this train because she's over here. Merry Christmas. And I asked her, I was like, was Christmas very important to you as a child? She was like, oh, I love Christmas. And it's like, see,
mm,
she's literally
oh, wow.
living in a state of pure bliss. And
Oh,
we have two choices. Do you want to judge that because you
mm,
just don't simply understand because you're not trusting yourself like you said, or can we just ride along with it? You know what, let me bring up my inner child. Woo 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 woo.
well.
So as a reverence to me nurturing my own inner child, I love nature. I will
Mm,
literally go in, and when I was a child, it's funny, when I was a child I hated nature. I hated
wow.
sunlight. I hated because I was conditioned of, we light of persuasion, you're gonna get dark. You're gonna get
Oh my
I was
God.
hate.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh God, I hate it. And it wasn't until I decided to just take a leap of faith and just was like, you
Mm,
know what, let me try nature and look at it in a different perspective. So now I see trees when they're waving. Now I see them waving at me. And I'll be,
oh
hey
wow.
trees, how you doing? And it's almost like they acknowledge
I
me
do the same thing. I
and
just
I
realized this. I
and
do
I
exactly
acknowledge
the
them.
same thing.
Thank you so much. As you provide shade on me, as you provide me shelter and safety, I want to acknowledge your existence as well. Thank you.
Mm,
Like
mm,
they are
mm.
living beings. Why
Hey,
not talk
listen,
to them?
I love waving at them. Oh my God. I love
God,
when
me
they wave their
too.
little leaves. I'm just like, hey, little
And it's funny, even on the street, you know how we fear and self-doubt.
leaf.
You know how you said that you looked at a reflection. Anytime you looked at a reflection, you would ask yourself, well, why am I looking at myself? Is it for validation, or is it because I don't, like the way I look or whatever? And that will creep in. And I know we've talked about this where I'm just in nature, I'm waving to a tree or I'm hugging a tree and people will walk by and they're like, what? And like you can sense it, energy, you can sense the
Yeah.
judgment, or at least that's what I create in my mind.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
create in my
yeah,
mind
yeah,
because
yeah.
most people aren't really thinking about you like that.
Yeah.
It's just their illusion.
They're gonna be
And
like,
so
oh, that's
I'll
so
back off, but then I become aware of a sense of sadness because then I felt like I didn't honor myself and my child. I was just
sweet.
happy hugging this tree. So if
Mm,
anybody, let's say somebody was, which usually is not the case, if anybody was judging, who the hell cares?
exactly.
Do you want to hug this tree with me too? Come on, come
Come
on,
on. They're
hug the
probably
tree.
just afraid to hug the tree. They're afraid to be that for
Gotta
themselves.
acknowledge this tree. It's giving you
Come
life.
on, it gives us oxygen.
So that's one way I honor my inner child. But in regards to being triggered, I'm still working on that.
Mm,
Because when I'm triggered, I feel 8-year-old self, not even just 8-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 18-year-old,
mm,
21-year-old. And it's so intense because I
wow.
realized I didn't acknowledge all those aspects. Whatever happened to me at that point, not that I remember all of it, because a lot of it's still suppressed, but I still feel it. And my defense sometimes is just to attack or to, you don't understand, like we were talking about, you don't understand, da, 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 da. I don't want to talk to you. And realistically, yes, Faith, you want the acknowledgement. You just simply want a hug. So what I'll do is I'll literally do this, or I'll caress my face and I will allow the tears to fall.
Oh, I love this. Oh
and
my God, I
I'll
love
be
this.
like, little Faith, you're safe. You're feeling oh God, it's okay. Little Faith, you're feeling unheard right now. You're feeling anger because someone back then did not validate you, but you are here. I got you. So it's almost like my higher self or even current adult self. I'll talk to her. You're okay. It's almost like if somebody was taking your head and like if you were faced at me, you were like, no, you got this. That's what I'll do. And the tears always fall every single time. But I allow myself to feel that anguish, but also there's a sense of joy and peace that comes in just caressing and just, Faith, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. I love you. I love you. And it's, oh.
Isn't that what we all want?
Yes, exactly.
To feel safe.
It's just exactly. And then it eliminates the anger. Any anger I'm feeling at that moment, it's gone.
It does, because anger is just like this, and it's so much underneath.
Yes.
It is sadness. It is feeling of rejection and everything. And William Kelly was this quote where it's just like, it's not that you're afraid of someone else rejecting you. You're afraid of you rejecting yourself.
Yes.
You're afraid of you rejecting yourself. And I had those moments right there where I was sitting in the sun. I remember I used to be I remember coming home crying, crying because I thought my skin was too dark. I thought that I remember because but something that I thought with myself, I thought I was not beautiful for that. Not saying that anyone made me, but it was jokes and there was a bunch of things that other people used to make. So I used to self-internalize and saying, is this, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I with the sun I used to just not I used to not embrace the sun. I love the sun. I love the soak in it. I love the bathe in it. I love the sizzle. I just love the sizzle, the tingle. I love the tingle. I love when it just feels like I'm getting nice and oven roasted, and I flip and I'm just like oven roasted again. And it makes me feel so good. And it's like one time I just wanted to sunbathe fully naked and just be like, and just kind of just
Isn't it
let myself
amazing?
be. It's
Yes.
really amazing. And I realized that if I constantly allow myself to feel safe, to always redirect my mind and think that was never existed. That was never existed. And I remember myself looking at a tree the other day, and I was just in awe of how much was never there, how much was never there, and I just felt so completely good and just blissful and it was just so beautiful.
Yes.
It was so beautiful. I felt like if I was just like a baby experiencing life for the first time, because I haven't felt that way in such a long time. And it was and now it was so funny. Even if at times where I did hug a tree, or I did something, or like kiss a piece of nature, or took a bite of a leaf because I just wanted to see what it tasted like, and if I slightly felt like I couldn't, I instantly reverted back and just went back and hugged that tree. I was hugging it tighter for longer. I was like, I'm gonna allow myself to feel this, to do this for myself, and just even if voices and ideas thinking what I feel like I'm being perceived as, I'm gonna for myself do this because this is what I really want to do. If I feel like jumping and skipping as I'm listening to my music on the wall, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I realized for myself, like when I was in New York City, I felt more comfortable doing it because it was a bunch of people and it felt very creative, very good. So how do you do that when you're in different environments?
Yes,
How can
that's
you allow
true.
yourself to be you in all different places without even when it's not feeling like when you can be the center of attention? Don't be afraid to be you and have a spotlight on you and let everyone see how much of a beautiful light you are.
Ooh, can I add on to that?
Yes, yes.
So the fact that I'm here crying on camera is amazing to me because I was taught when I was younger, age is my own personal childhood experiences, and you know the conditions of being a Black strong woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing away with that. But I was always told I was too emotional. You're too sensitive. You're too
I got
sensitive.
that a lot.
You're too sensitive. And I was like, but I'm feeling. And so you just pinpointed something. You said how to express and be yourself in a different environment. Because, you know, sometimes some environments might not be appropriate. Like, for example, work, and we're in a big meeting or whatever the case may be. I used to find myself, like, if I was getting triggered or if I just felt emotional for no reason, I would try to, hey everybody, but deep down I was like, I just want to cry. So now what I do is I kind of don't give two fucks, to be honest with you. I'll either, like, I've cried in front of my students and I was like, listen, I'm not apologizing. And I told them, I'm not apologizing for my feelings. I'm sad. Let me identify that. I'm feeling sadness today, and here's why. Or in a meeting, using that same example, either I'll say, I need 5 minutes and I'm going to go cry. I'll say it to my husband, I need 5 minutes and I'm going to cry, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not. And I'll tell myself, Faith, little Faith, you're going to feel right now. You're not going to apologize for it. You're free. You're not too sensitive. Everyone else just isn't tapped into their emotions. That's what I tell you.
They need to.
Yes.
They need to. And by you doing that, just imagine how so many people are allowing themselves to be human again.
Yes.
To be human again. Everyone says be human, but no one's doing it. No one's doing it. They're afraid to. They're afraid to be human.
Everyone wants to be a savage, and I don't understand why. I
don't understand why.
You just cry. I know you're sad. I know you're mad. I know this. Like, I feel it, but you're like, I'm fine. No, you're not.
You are not. You are not. And do you know what's such a great thing that you did for those kids, for everyone? You said, I am an adult. I'm going to show you what it looks like to love myself. And now they know growing up that they have an example that they can reference back onto. When they get to that age, they can still allow themselves to showcase their emotions, to be with themselves, and to love themselves, because that's what we all need. That's what we all need. Just imagine everyone just broke down, cried, felt everything whenever they wanted to.
Yes.
Everything.
It would become normalized.
Normal. It would be so normalized. Just imagine so many hugs that people would give each other. And it's so funny. We want to.
Yes.
But I feel like we just have to do it for ourselves first. And also, while we're doing it for ourselves, we can still be open to giving that to other people.
Yes.
And doing that for other people. It's just, oh my God. This just makes me just want to hug everybody.
Immediately.
It makes me just want to love everybody, to see looking for, just to see me and to say, hey, you want to play? Hi. Who are you? Can I ask you questions?
Yeah.
Do you want some of my sandwich?
Right.
I have a lunchbox here. So my animal cookies. It just makes me just, oh my God, I just want to find so many people. I mean,
yes. Don't worry, you're going to attract those people, because people are attracted to your light. And your spiritual discernment, God has blessed you with such a powerful spiritual discernment. And I know you had to cultivate that, and you still are, like you said, ever changing, but you are a true gift. You are a true gift in understanding and empathizing with people when most people don't. You're able to see past what's being said. You'll be able to see past what's being right in front of you and see a human. When no matter what facades, they can have 30,000 facades on. You, Travis, are able to see so much past that and get right to the heart. And that's going to make some people uncomfortable. Like we were talking about that one time, some people are going to reject that because they're not ready. But don't worry, you will, because you cannot deny light, ever. No matter how dark an abyss you are, you cannot deny light. So you are God sent. Your spiritual gift is powerful. And I thank you. And I'm so thankful. I cannot express, and I know whoever's going to be watching all 7 of these, I remember where we're at now, they're going to see it. They're going to feel it. And your words are so powerful. And yeah, I'm just being redundant at this point, but you get what I'm
saying. No, you are not. No, you are not. You are, oh my God, I love you so much. it's so much because that's exactly who I am. That's
Mhm.
exactly who, and it takes a lot of things constantly to love myself and to love myself because I am love. And it's just it's always I love to shock the hell out of people because I love to give into that. I go straight for the heart. I go straight
Yes.
for the
Go
heart. I
straight. You
just
go. You pull up. Let's imagine if you were Katniss Everdeen and you just go straight, boom. You
get
literally
me
pull past the
out.
facade. But you also have ability to acknowledge the facades, but you do it in love. And then like it just shakes and breaks any and everything. And that's felt. And keep going. Like please. Like today. Wiggle moment. Wiggle moment. Wiggle moment. Ah.
And this is what I want to say. So maybe one of the last things. I don't know how many questions. Do we have any questions left?
We have one more left. We have one more.
Okay. And this is what I wanted to say as well. It's like I always got this in all different circumstances. Oh, someone always came to me and always said, "Don't ever change."
Mm,
But I never knew what that meant. And I was saying that I should always stay the same. The reason I mean like don't ever change. That what I understood now is that to always be loved, to always love. And now I'm gonna say that for everyone. Don't ever change who you truly are. Change who you're not, but never change who you really are. Let
mm.
that be love. Let that be love. Let it love. Oh God.
So you just kind of answered the last question, but what advice would you give someone who would love to tap into their inner child and understand
Mm,
aspects of who they are?
mm. Yes, that one what I said before. But also at the same time, I think
Mm,
question everything that you're doing. Everything that you're doing. Not in distrust or mistrust, but just for curiousness, for understanding, for understanding, and
mm,
awareness of just saying what that is. It was like, what does that mean? What are the things that in every single aspect of your life you have to sit down and write it? If you're a writing person, if you have
mhm,
to talk it out with yourself, then talk it out. If you have to talk it out with someone else and have a great big conversation, then do that. If you work better with someone that you can express with, but in any form, in any way, or if you just want to think it, then just think it. In any way, in any form, allow yourself to question every aspect of your life and say to yourself, and do this as many times as possible.
yes.
Am I loving myself? Am I being my truest being, the truest being of myself? Am I allowing myself to play, to just create whatever my soul needs to be for myself at that moment? And ask yourself, is it anything hindering me in that? And do not place blame on others. Ask
Mm,
yourself, if it is anything outwardly that you feel is hindering you, why do you feel like that has a power over you? What is making
mm,
you feel like you have to stop or put on your brakes when it comes to that situation or that person or that idea or problem or societal change? Why can't you feel like you can't be all that you already are, that you always have been? How can you allow yourself to just question that and go beyond the ideas of limitations? Because it's always limitless. It's a world beyond your limitations or your perceived limitations because they're not really there.
they're
They're
not
not
ready
really
there. The
there.
lemon does not
They're
exist.
never there. They're not there. Yeah. And they just have to allow look off that bead of sweat that was
I'm
just
gonna
like
start doing that and move on. Eh.
and just allow yourself to just be very conscious of every single thing you do. Don't overthink, but just be observant. Be observant. Be an observer in your own movements, in your
Mhm,
intentions and actions, and your thoughts, and how you come and show up for yourself, even in your feelings, and how you voice them, how you're free in them. How can you be free more? Because that's the goal, is to be free as fuck. How can you be free? How can you be free?
mhm.
You already are free, so how can you just disrobe, disrobe, become truly naked, lay in the sun, and just run with every single person in your life, in the world, the universe with you, without feeling like you can't, like
Mm.
feeling like you can't bask in it. You can't sizzle and glow. It was like just go within it. Ask yourself, hug yourself as much as
Mhm.
you can. You may not have feel comfortable or maybe may not feel anything from it, but keep on doing it and you will. And you
Consistency.
will appreciate it when you truly need it. This
Yeah.
big hug. Redo it, do it in different ways, do it in makeout session look, go like this. Any way
Vogue it
that you
out.
need, vogue it with it, vogue with it as
And
much
that-
as you can. If you have to grab your ass and say, you're great, you're great. Do whatever way that works best for you. But just make sure that you always practice loving yourself and being gentle and just
Mm,
trusting that this is always going to be great things after whatever you're feeling, because it's all temporary. Even how you are now, questioning these things are only temporary. You're going to feel so safe more and more as
yep.
you go leading forward. It's going to feel more secure, more, you're going to have more solidarity, just like more confidence, and you're going to feel like you can just fly. We all can, no limitations. And
That.
fly.
Ah.
And fly. And fly away, please. It's just don't let yourself have a barrier. Don't let yourself
Mm,
have a barrier. And if you feel that as you're coming into those spaces, you see anyone that you care about or anyone at all, because we're all family in this life, just allow yourself to be observant of who and how they can be themselves. If you see
mm,
something in themselves that you feel like they're not loving themselves, not in a judgmental way or an opinionated way, but really for them, really in a nurturing way, and say, "Hey, how are you feeling?
mm.
What are you experiencing? What's really going on?"
What do you
Give them a
need?
hug. What do you
Mhm.
need? What do
What
you
do you
need? So many
need?
people are afraid to ask for what they need
What?
because they don't know how to ask for themselves or what they need. So maybe be that thing to ask them, what do you need? What
Right.
do you need?
You
Hey,
kick.
I need this. Exactly. And the thing is, don't ever brush anything off. If they make
Hmm.
it a joke, look deeper, feel them more, give them a hug, take it seriously because what they're joking about is really true. They're brushing it off to themselves because they're not allowing themselves to really be at home with it. So you be that home for them, a temporary home, an Airbnb, a lodging for them as
The
much as you can. And tell them to get the fuck out once they understand what they do for themselves so they can go back into their home so warm and cozy. Just constantly, just just be a true loving light as you really always have been. Allow yourself to give always yourself. Don't be afraid to give always yourself. Give people hugs. We all need it. We all need
Hmm.
it. You never know. Tell someone that they look beautiful just to see them
Yes,
smile.
compliments. That's true.
Compliments. It's just like, but also at the same time, even if you're just doing it just to see someone make it happy, make sure that you're doing it for you because it makes you happy. It makes
Good
you
point.
spark up in light and joy up. If you feel like maybe that's not a way you want to give in that way today, find another way. You don't always have to give every single moment, every single day. Just
Correct.
meaning giving yourself the moment to love. The more
Hmm.
that you love yourself, it's an innate feeling. It's an action. It's like a will, a drive to love everyone else as you love yourself. It's the switch that comes on, and you can't stop it. And if you feel like you want to stop it, evaluate yourself and ask yourself, why do I feel like I can't give all of my love? Why am I holding out?
Mm.
Am I afraid of something? I'm afraid of rejection, what people may think. Am I worried about something? What am I worried about? It's just like allow yourself to just break all of you apart, crack it open, see what prizes are inside.
So
Crack a jack.
cracking it. So the gist of this whole discussion, there are three major points you just said: to feel, question, then redefine.
Oh,
Feel, question, and
that
redefine.
was organic.
Yes,
Oh, field question and redefine.
I love it.
Whoa,
Feel, question,
whoa.
and redefine.
Oh my, that's really it. That is really it. That's how the cookie crumbles. That is really
That
it.
movie. How to make it.
Oh, oh my God, that is really it. Wow. Wow.
Choose to do
Wow.
all three things. That goes back to what you always said, choose today.
Mm,
Choose today
mm,
to feel, question, and redefine.
mm. Oh, oh, oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is gorgeous. That is
Oh,
gorgeous.
you're
Oh,
gorgeous.
you're gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
Oh,
We both gorgeous.
you gorgeous.
You're
You
gorgeous.
so gorgeous. Stop.
Tenfold.
Let me slip back my wig a little bit.
You
Sorry.
so cute. So my remaining meeting time is 8 minutes. Is there more you would like to share? Because that was the end of all the questions. I took away that last one.
Mm. Do you know what I feel like I want to share or ask? I think it's a question. If anyone has something that they want to like, tell themselves, say it in comments, DM any of us, or anything, and just say something that you want to really tell yourself. Just celebrate how much you're loving yourself. Celebrate
Ooh,
that you're always nourishing yourself. Not necessarily that you have to really tell us, but it's share it, share it, share how much you love yourself. Don't be
ooh.
afraid. Don't be afraid. Just like because if you're being a beacon for someone else to love themselves.
Yes. You're giving
Because,
permission. Oh my God, I love that. You gave yourself
yeah,
permission, which gives other people permission, which ultimately inspires, but in a positive way.
oh
That's
yes,
what we're
yes,
doing.
yes, 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 yes,
Oh
yes,
my God,
yes.
Travis, that's so profound. That was good. That was,
Oh, oh God, it's the good stuff.
I got
Oh my
nothing
God.
else after that. That was it.
I don't. I want to do these as many, as more, as much as possible. And so, as much as possible. These are just some good ass conversations. I
Yes,
just,
it is. Yes, it is.
oh, I,
And if
I have
you
felt it.
don't, sorry, go ahead. You have more to share.
No, 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 go, 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 go.
I was going. You go, go, go. Well, Travis, this was honestly, I'm just gonna say it was probably the most profound, elevated combos that I've ever had.
Mm,
And that's not a pride or ego thing. That's just acknowledging the greatness of the words that came out from your spirit and
yes.
the
In
emotions
your
that came
spirit.
out. You said
No,
what?
in your spirit.
Oh,
In your
thank you.
spirit.
You're right. Acknowledge myself as well. Yes, thank you. And I just cannot thank you enough for being a part of not only this live, but being a part of this earth, this world, and choosing to elevate and to share it because we do all need it. And we will be doing, I have this joke that says I'm gonna always do a part two, but since we're already on like 8 at this point, we're gonna be meeting up again and expounding
Yeah.
and being able to reflect, like you just said, acknowledging the good of when you loved yourself. Because I would love to hear more about
Mm,
the good, bad, and ugly, but also more importantly, the love
mm.
that you have cultivated for yourself and others. I cannot wait to hear more. And I cannot
Oh
thank
my
you
God.
so much for being a part of this live.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you in my life. Ah, oh, that's
Yeah,
so
stretch it out a little bit.
much.
And I love you. I forgot to tell you that I love you. I love you. I love you.
I
I
love
love you.
you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, all of you. Mwah, I love you. I love you.
And we love you, whoever's watching.
Mwah. Mm,
Feel it.
mwah. Feel it. Oh God.
Well, on that note, I want to thank so much for everyone to join in. Please, I will be putting all of Travis's information down in the comments description. Please feel free to reach out because he is one who's open to it and he is receptive and
Please.
he is he is receptive and he will thrive. He will help you see a lot that you need. You can always feel free to reach out to me as well. We are here to love on you. Point period blank. Point
Love
period
on
blank. If you didn't get that now, you
you.
got it now. There you go. So thank you so much, Travis. I will be texting you, and this episode will drop tomorrow, Saturday the 23rd. And I'm so sorry
What?
for the miscommunication. Did you realize the flyer had the wrong dates? But that's okay.
No, it doesn't matter. It
It
doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter.
So
It doesn't
tomorrow, we drop
matter.
it. We drop it. And remember to be a child today. Remember to be a child each and every day.
Be a child. Be a child. Be free.
Be
Be
great.
free.
Be great. And on that note, we are going to end this. Love you, and I'll be texting you, all right?
I love you.
Bye. Bye.